Astana is one of the youngest capitals in the world. Located on the two banks of the Joly River, Astana received the status of the main city of Kazakhstan in 1998. And the habits, way of life of people living here determined a great variety of types of recreation and entertainment activities. This is the program Top 20 of the most significant and unusual must-see places in Astana. In today's program, you'll find out why you should visit the National Museum of the Republic of Kazakhstan. There you'll find answers to all questions related to the history of our country. And if you want to get a meeting with Nursultan Nazarbayev, then you should go to the Museum of the First President. It turns out that the head of state sometimes works in his former residence. This is the National Museum of the Republic of Kazakhstan. It is definitely worth a visit if you want to know the history of the state formation. Also see with your own eyes how the Kazakh people lived in different periods from ancient to modern times. The museum is located on the main square of the country, the Independence Square. The House of History and Cultural Heritage occupies 74,000 square meters and consists of 7 blocks with a variable number of floors. This unique complex is an eye-catcher with its unusual external form and has no analogues in Central Asia. Believe it or not, this museum was built for 16 years. Visitors are welcomed into the grandiose entry hall by a giant golden eagle soaring under the ceiling.
Welcome to the Hall of Gold. First of all, you're welcomed by this diorama in the form of a tree of life. Since ancient times, it's considered as a symbol of creation. It unites the upper world, terrestrial, and the world beneath. 40,000 LED lamps are placed here, and the music by national composer Nurgisat Lindiyev plays, which is translated as a song of ancestors, and this is very symbolic.
Следующий экспонат. Обратите внимание на этих прекрасных лошадей.
The next exhibit. Let's pay attention to these beautiful horses with horns of mountain goats. This reconstruction of horses was found in burial kurgan, in one of the cemeteries at the very top of the burial ground itself. There were 60 of them. In the frozen kurgan, certain horses were buried together in the identical golden ornaments. The findings date back to the 3 to 4 centuries BC.
13 horses were found in 1997 at Burial Kurgan. Exceptional preservation of the animals up to the DNA, according to the scientists, was possible due to the low temperature in the mound. Every thoroughbred racehorse had such masks with the horns of mountain goats, which protected the buried from evil spirits. The main exhibit is the famed Golden Man. Today it is a real sensation and a symbol of independent Kazakhstan. Scientists, historians, students, tourists come from all over the world to look at a vivid example of Saka culture in the animal style. You just imagine that once a nobleman was wearing 3 kilograms of gold. Exhibits from Issyk burial mound are still being studied by the world scientific community. For example, this silver bowl to this day remains a mystery. There are 26 unknown symbols on it. I wonder who will be able to decipher these messages. And this exhibit of burial refers to Bronze Age. This is a man grave of a more humble origin, as evidenced by the objects found in the burial. If you want to tell a child about how ancestors lived, then you should enter the Hall of Ancient History. Here is a model of an ancient man in a cave. We are sure children will be delighted seeing it all with their own eyes. The Great Silk Road is recreated in this part of the hall. The fairs were held both day and night at that time. In such clay rooms, traders offered oriental sweets, exotic watermelons, Chinese silk and porcelain. Ethnography Hall will acquaint you with culture and way of life of nomads. Here you can sit comfortably on the bench and view documentary photos and videos. Unique works of art of Kazakh masters are exhibited in the form of a hologram, and in this showcase you can see the daily outfit of a married woman. Modern girls no longer dress like that. On the other hand, the clothes of Kazakhstani people more often are decorated with Kazakh patterns, which add them a special national color. In this showcase, you can see what the capital looked like in the medieval times. In the era of Turks and Kipchaks, there was a Bozok town, and in 15th-17th century Astana was the headquarters of Kazakh Khanate and was called Batagay. This is one of the first Kazakh space satellites, Kazsat-2. The launch of this equipment into space is the personal victory of independent Kazakhstan.
On July 16, 2011, the second Kazakhstan satellite Kazsat-2 was launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome with the help of Proton-M heavy lifter. The Kazsat-2 satellite provides Kazakhstan with mobile communications, internet and television.
In this hall you can see the costume of legendary Talgat Musabayev, in which he observed Kazakhstan from space. A little further, boxing gloves of Vasily Zhirov are presented. He is one of the first world heavyweight boxing champions. Seruk Sapiyev's gifts, an Olympic medal and boxing gloves are here too. The Astana hall will make even the most reserved and strict visitors gasp. Every hour here is a show. Right now the music started playing. The light went out. The central part of the hall is highlighted. And right before our eyes, attractions and residential complexes of the city begin to rise in chronological order from the cubes. It is possible to see ancient exhibits and plunge into the history of Kazakhstan for only 700 tenge. Every third Sunday of the month, entry is free of charge. School children also can visit the museum for free on holidays or museum classes. There are additional payments for commercial exhibitions. By the way, the House of History is open 6 days a week from 10 to 18 o'clock in the evening. The museum is closed on Mondays, and the last Tuesday of every month is a sanitary day. You can literally touch the history in the museum of the first president of the country, Nursultan Nazarbayev. This is the first working residence of Yolbasy, personal office of Nursultan Nazarbayev. Here, even furniture is arranged the same way as during the service of the head of state in this residence. There is also a pen which important documents were signed with, and a notebook where the records of that time are preserved. It seems that the phone is about to ring or the door will open. At this table, the head of state conducted political and economic talks. On this map, imagined the wealth of our country. This is the golden hall of the residence. Repeated meetings on the transfer of the capital to the then Tselinograd were held at this table. Here Nursultan Nazarbayev invited the best foreign architects. One of them was famous Kisha Kurakava. And in this hall, called the Dome, the first meeting of the government and parliament was held after the proclamation of independence of Kazakhstan.
It always attracts great interest from the youngest and to the oldest. The hall has good acoustics. It is equipped with the latest facilities for those times. The historical significance lies in the fact that it was here on December the 10th, 1997, the head of state declared Akmola the main city of our republic.
The scale of the domed hall will impress not only the child, but also the adult. A collection of gifts presented to the President of Kazakhstan by the leaders of other states with wishes and signatures is gathered in the Hall of Meetings. This is the Hall of State Symbols of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Original manuscript of the Anthem of Kazakhstan is located here. These are the very changes introduced to the text by Nursultan Nazarbayev personally. It's worth a visit because this building has never been refurbished. It is very well preserved, and also because the residence is functioning. The head of state, although rare, appears here, and the facility is still guarded and strategically important. Those who wish to get acquainted with the work, the way of life of the head of the state, to feel their involvement in the historical events of the country, should visit the Museum of the First President of the country and the National Museum of the Republic of Kazakhstan.